Okay, this is going to be a short video. So, we're in the garage. It's been, I don't know, almost a year since our lockdown here where I am. And because of that, I'm working from home. And in doing so, I'm not driving the car as much as I used to. In fact, I'm on the same tank of gas as I was in March. And it's now October. So, working from home has been great. Save a little money there. But I've noticed some little things from not driving the car. I do start it up occasionally and take it outside just so the batteries get charged up a little bit, take it around the block. But I noticed shifting out of park has become incredibly difficult. And it feels like, you know, it's just not going to go. And I thought maybe it was the transmission fluid getting real thick because it was cold for a while. But then I remembered the last couple of years that was never a thing. Even in the winter when I didn't drive much, it still didn't feel like as sluggish as it was now. But I couldn't. There was one day I was afraid I was even gonna get it out of park and back out of the garage. But I did a little bit of digging, and it turns out that just from sitting around in the age of the car, I have a CVT, so this is the, constant velocity. And this is the shifter mechanism. So this is the cable here that's connected to the inside the car in the shifter. And when you move it into reverse and then neutral, this rotates to the left. And there are reports online of this entire cable, which is a solid piece of metal, just snapping because the hinge begins to rust. So this is the swivel mechanism here. This connects back into the car. It pulls to the left, and this whole unit here, it's hard to do, rotates. And right here, this actually will snap right here if if it gets rusted enough. And by not driving the car and not having this move in and out, I think it's beginning to rust. And so what's going to happen is if it does break, you have to replace the whole cable, which is just not fun. So what I did is, you can see some little remnants here. I just have some lubrication that I sprayed into underneath here without taking anything off. I sprayed in and around that pretty heavily, some rust remover lubricant, and I gave it a few hours overnight to sit. The next morning I went out and started it back up. I was able to shift into reverse. It was a little tight, and then I went into neutral very slowly, and then drive, and then low, and then back up, and then back down, and back up, and back down. And it's getting easier the more I do it. So I think that's the issue. I don't think the transmission fluid is thick or getting cold or dirty. I don't even know when I last changed it. I think I changed it when I got the car, which was 6-7 years ago. Maybe. If not, it might be significantly older than that. But it shifts fine. I don't have any symptoms of CVT failure in any way, except that I can't shift the car occasionally. And I think that's the issue there. So if you have a shifter that seems to be getting sluggish while you're not driving, check that. See if you're forming some rust on the hinge itself. You know, here in the Northeast, it gets wet and salty and all that stuff in the wintertime. So it's something that I didn't know about, so I went looking into this. But over the last week or so, it's been good. I'm going to have to drive into town again coming soon, next week. I'll probably lube it up again, take it around the block, make sure it can shift, and that things are steady. So check that, and hopefully it doesn't break, because if it does, it's a much bigger fix than, a can of lubricant. So I'll see you.